Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we badly have to pee after sitting through the credits for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
Thank Shiva, this is it. We could just make it through this last 2 minutes in 18 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm Pete Mummer.
I'm the intern, Gerald Christopher, patron saint of 5 years of fun and finality. You hear that noise
Whoa.
right there?
Oh.
That's my celebration libation Mountain Dew cracking open
Nice.
porter.
Wait, does that mean we're done after this?
Yeah, you make it sound like the show's
after this
over.
episode? Is the show
No.
over?
Just this. No, just
Okay.
finality for this.
He was so
we're not
excited
done,
for a
done,
second.
Done.
Get my hopes lofted into the air and then crush them.
I would just like to say I'm Professor Christy Porter. If I could just,
Oh, yes.
It took up a lot of space there. It took up a lot of space.
Scoot over, Jerry.
A lot of
Chair
bandwidth.
spreading. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. But yes, we're back here in our booth in the corner. We're roped off so the hoi polloi can't mess with us. But we're here to talk about the very final moments of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This is technically minutes 121 through, the piece of 123. This begins with the credit for visual effects and animation by Industrial Light and Magic, our heroes, and it ends with the credits for the key artists.
Look at
Chris,
Marion's theme.
Oh yeah, we get married.
What?
I have a question for
Yeah.
you, Srisser. Do you remember when all this hullabaloo started? And did I asked you to come in and say? Were you first a guest? Did it, when I asked you or told you about it and said, "Hey, why don't you come on the show?" What were you thinking?
Oh, well, of course I had to be here in the booth with.
I think
the
we
three of
build you as a We build you as a psychologist, right? You're
Turns
like
out
one
I
of our
am
first guests.
Oh, yeah. There's some kind of legitimacy to her.
Turns
Yeah,
out,
well, I was like,
yeah.
I know, we need a guest.
My sister will do it. She'll do anything. yes, indeed. That was a long time ago, though, and it wasn't the Crystal Skull. Do you mean like way back in the way back?
Yeah, I mean, like way back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was back in, I think you were like the tail end of...
I'm not your first guest.
No, you were our second guest. I think our first guest was
Hey, who's better than me?
Pete and Alex from...
What?
What?
That's
Oh.
right. They definitely get.
Pete and Alex from Star Wars Minute.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. But actually, if I was second guest to those guys, whew, that's pretty fancy.
It was fancy.
It really
you took us
explains-
from like Indy's apartment or Indy's house to Nepal.
It's true.
I remember that clearly.
It's true, and it
Yeah.
explains why I wasn't invited back a whole lot. Thanks anyway. Yeah,
Those were
back
good
when
times.
Still
times.
believed in stuff.
Yeah. I immediately, of course, have to correct myself. I said that these minutes end with like some dopey key artist. It of course ends with the Paramount logo. The movie's over. The Paramount logo comes back. I'm sorry, my notes were a
Yeah.
little off there.
Yeah, the Ben Lamond.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
Do we know if
Some
they
of the-
updated that for like this is like the newer version from the 2000s or something?
This is Judah Ben Lamond.
That's great.
Hey, we got a Sam finally. A Sam in the
Oh.
credits. Digital artist Sam Stewart.
Hey,
It's not my son, but he sounds like a good guy. Good digital
we
artist.
got something in the credits that really confused me.
Hmm.
Apparently, the poster for one of my all-time favorite movies is in this movie.
Yes, I saw that. I mean, I saw that in the credits.
Yeah, they said the poster for Vertigo, and then they also said the poster for The Wrong Man and the poster for Jailhouse Rock are in this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing that. Was there like driving by a theater at some point, or they're just like a quick?
Maybe, or I was wondering if like there were posters in the diner or something.
I think it's either that, or I think maybe the alien interdimensional beings kept that next to the Buddha and King Tut.
Yeah.
and
Yes, that's right.
Nefertiti. They had the
Yeah,
Jailhouse
yeah.
Rock poster.
Yeah.
Mint condition Lone Ranger lunchbox.
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody knows that the aliens were big Hitchcock fans. Big
Yeah.
It's weird though because
All the
those
best
that
people.
was like 1958 was when Vertigo came out, so this would have been like that would have been the current movie. Like that
Yeah.
wouldn't have been in the cafe or in the
Yeah.
diner because it would have been a
Oh, right.
current run movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they were on top of stuff. Hey kids, when you're done with your root beer float or your
did
brown
people
cow.
start
Pete, you would
collect-
see-
like, when
Pete-
did collectibles start? Oh, go
Well,
ahead. Terry.
wait a minute, Pete. I just want to say you were shredding the art department research.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
That's right. Now
Yeah.
here they are, and they're doing a great job with Vertigo.
Supposedly, depending on where the poster
Well,
was.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just wanted to yell at Pete.
I know.
We yell at each other.
Okay.
There's a credit here that I love that we get. Apprentice sound editor Benny Burt.
Oh my God! I didn't see
Wow.
that. That's awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, I guess
eyes,
little
Tom.
Benny is
Guys.
under his dad's wing, showing him the
sit-
ropes.
He has a little baby casserole.
Yeah,
My first
Sticking his little
casserole.
pudgy mid into. Yeah.
That's right.
Lil tight
Also,
casserole.
like Ben Burt's like 75 when this comes out, so I like Benny Burt's probably like he's
Yeah,
older than we are.
30.
Little
Yeah.
Benny Burt.
Yeah, I don't want to be Benny anymore.
Please.
I want to be Benjamin. Benny and like it.
Well, Pete, you had a question about collectibles.
Oh, well, I was if like when did places start putting movie posters of like old movies in like in diners or
Yeah, like
that like- was
50s
that like
diners have like posters
did that
from
only
the 20s. or
start
something?
happening in the 80s like when
That's it. You know what? Like, I want to know, like, did Charlemagne's basement have like Alaric's throne?
Yes. Everybody knows.
Or you know what I mean? Like
the thing.
Alexander the Great's ring. Would they like? Did Charlemagne collect collectibles?
Well, there's
or
relics.
did
That's like
right?
Attila the Hun?
Isn't there a fine line between like pillaging and collecting?
Fine line. Real fine
tomato,
line.
tomato.
I also feel like if TV is any indication of complete accuracy, which I'm assuming it is,
Sure.
I feel like everything in 1958 would have just said like state, like go state, like a pennant that said state, go state, or go team.
Yeah. Yeah, go team, go us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go us. They
our
always have that
favorite team.
state you.
They
Yeah.
eat you.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, the past is so stupid. Everybody was so dumb.
Oh, speaking of the present, if we want to jump right into the dystopian present,
Sure.
soundtrack on Concord Records.
Yeah. That
Do
was
they still
weird.
do this? Do they still say
Wow.
this in movies? Like in the age of streaming, do they still say like soundtrack on Arista Records or what? Or is it?
I want to say they do, but I don't.
I haven't seen one
I
of
just
those
saw a
in a
movie the
while.
other day, but
You know,
wow.
there is an interesting. I don't know what I'll call it. It's not an anecdote, but years ago when I did work at Borders, I was offered a job at the Telarc record label,
Oh, I remember
which
that,
is
yeah.
based in, they're based out of
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland. They did the Cleveland Orchestra, and it was interesting. They were famous for their audiophilic recordings, and they had they do kind of small batch stuff. I mean, the Cleveland Orchestra was one of the biggest things they had, but they had like Oscar Peterson, and I think they had Dave Brubeck, and they had like a Telarc jazz thing, and then they were bought out by Concord. And Concord, I didn't take the job, by the way. I remember, and I
could've
remember
worked on
the
this
interview.
movie.
Yeah.
I could have worked. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I'm a dumbass. I remember they called me while I was
Idiot.
working, and they offered me the job on the phone while I was on the floor at the bookstore. And I
Had a
told
job
them
you
no.
hated.
Yeah, at a job that I hated, and I
Yeah.
told them no. And I mean, there was like this Ark of the Covenant opening pause. I think they couldn't believe it. And to be honest, I couldn't believe it, but I think at that time I just was like, all I want to do is Candace to pick me up so we can go see a 50-cent movie. I don't want to work.
I got tickets for Problem Child. Leave me alone.
I was like, I don't want to have to work
be
and do
awesome.
like an 8 to 5 job and do stuff. And
You were terrified of that.
I was terrified of
Still
that.
is.
Like, I'm going to have to wear a button-down shirt.
Yeah.
But Concord did a great job, and they kind of like, you know, where like music kind of like everything the bed, like around 2003 or 2004, whenever, you know, and everything became like LimeWire and Napster. Like, there were these pockets of medium-large labels that would survive by doing things. They knew, all right, not everybody's going to run out and buy this, but there are a bunch of people who are going to come out and they will buy a CD or, you know, quote, you know, an old-fashioned compact disc because they still have that in their car and they
or a
want to
record.
listen
They
to
still
it.
put out records.
Yeah.
There's probably a record version of this this soundtrack, I would bet.
Oh, I'm sure.
Post your pictures on the Crusade of all the every format in which you have the soundtrack to Crystal Skull.
And Concord, I mean, what was interesting is they wound up having a lot of cool artists and cool acts.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, anywhere.
And you still didn't take the
People
job.
are still buying music.
I
Oh,
didn't take
Yeah,
the
you
job.
Dummy. We've got. Does anybody have anything else for the actual credits? Because we got more Patreon fun.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Reed Smoot.
Don't tell me what to do.
Somebody named Reed Smoot.
Reed Smoot.
Of the famous Smoot Hawley tariff, right?
That's right.
Oh,
that we only
yes.
know about from Ferris Bueller.
Right.
But we do have some friends who have written into us from our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute, where you can go and you can support the show and you can get asked to do fun stuff like this, or you just get free early access to these episodes, or you get our bonus show, Anything Goes. I'm doing a quick little plug for Patreon right now. All of which is to say, these are very special and dear people to us, and we invited them to ask us some stuff that we could talk about in these final moments. John Carlisle, our old buddy John,
Yay.
Jonathan Carlisle, he says, would it still be an Indiana Jones movie if they had stuck with 1950s suburbia, but it's conspiracy and pod people? And maybe the pod people are actually benevolent extraterrestrial beings, just to keep the theme. Oh, wait, is that Cocoon?
Wow.
That's a good point and a good question.
Yeah.
And that was like wishful thinking from Jonathan Carlisle.
I know, yeah. I think he just wants to be watching Cocoon
Yeah.
with Indiana Jones in it.
Or like the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like if he's in a quaint Sierra Madre kind of town.
Yeah, and he's the only sane, sober one.
Yeah,
He's-
and everyone thinks
everyone's
he's
going nuts.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd watch that. I don't
yeah.
know if it's an Indiana Jones movie, but I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see Indiana
And
Jones doing that.
we
That'd be
could
cool.
we could film it in Kalkaska.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
That's right. And then Jonathan and Tabitha could be have a
Yeah.
cameo.
Yeah.
What if they had done more with the atomic town and
That should have been the whole
mannequins?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Or if you had to steal an ENIAC computer or something, or just you had to find out what a computer is first, and then go steal this room size thing.
I
or
feel like the fact that he's an archaeologist sort of makes you want to have something old in it.
yeah, no, of course that's true. Which on paper, what they tried to do made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that trying to meld those two things, but yeah, it didn't quite work for us
Yeah.
or for me
Yeah.
anyway. I'll just speak for myself.
You
Three
can-
Mountain
you can-
Dews in by the
You
way,
can
Dad.
speak for me.
I'm drinking my.
Wait, Tommy,
club-
I'm giving you one. Yeah. Cheers.
There you go, Jerry. Thank you.
It's a really crunchy.
I think
like
it's
you.
interesting.
I'm
Well,
drinking my Mountain Dew out of a Star Trek glass. I hope that's cool.
Well, you got what was it? What is it? Ink and gold or whatever?
Here at
Whatever
the,
one it was.
Here at this club that we're at, they actually have the Baja Gold, which is sort of a pineapple-y, pea yellow Mountain Dew.
See, I think that's felicitous for our final Crystal Skull episode
I
because
think so.
I have the classic.
You do.
And so
I
when
was
we
almost
do,
gonna
what
do
we,
that, but yeah.
yeah, on this, what we do on this show is I'm drinking the Raiders, and you have the
I have one of
It's
those
got the-
newfangled
yeah.
ones. It's very controversial. Not
Yeah.
everyone's into it.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
A lot of marketing, a lot of summertime blockbuster stuff.
Right. We got a question from our friend Klaus, who goes by the name of Not Short But Round, on our Patreon group. He says, this is interesting. As I was born in Leipzig,
Ooh.
and again lived there, I was ecstatic about the name drop in Crystal Skull. I received a raucous cheer in the cinema too. So for that alone, the movie has a special place in my heart.
Nice.
Even though, after losing your job for being an alleged Russian agent or Russian asset, your first course of action maybe shouldn't be to go work in Leipzig, which is against Germany, well within the Soviet sphere of influence. Then again, kind of fits with the rest, doesn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, which of the 4 prologue adventures would have been the best standalone movie? Raiders of the Idol of Chachapoya, Indiana Jones and the Ashes of Nurhaci, Indiana Jones and the Double Cross of Coronado, or Indiana Jones and Mac and Cheese or something. He says, thank you guys for years of entertainment inside and outside of the Indieverse. Looking forward to the Indie 5 Minute, and you should definitely do Tintin next.
Ooh, okay.
So thank you for all of that.
That's a
Not
great
Thank
Short
you,
But
Klaus.
Round.
That was a good
Thank you,
question.
Klaus. That is
Beautiful
good.
thoughts and a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, we sort of saw the whole adventure of the idol, didn't we? Kind
yeah.
of.
And we sort of saw the whole adventure of the Cross of Coronado. Unless it would be.
Well,
like
we
him
saw
on
like the beginning and the end of it, I guess.
Oh, that's
Like
true.
there may have been other. You got the
Oh,
sense,
yeah,
didn't
so,
you,
like,
that there were other like run-ins with that
Back
guy?
when he's on the shore in Portugal.
Yeah, right.
He's on
We got
the
that boat
shore.
at some point. Yeah.
Do you think that Nah, it's all right.
Oh, okay.
Ashes of Nurhaci would be good. I mean,
That would be
we
good
don't know
because we
anything
don't-
about that.
Yeah, we know absolutely zero. That would be, I think, the
Yeah.
best.
I mean, unless you read the little golden book about Indiana
That's
Jones
true.
and the Ashes of Nurhaci or something.
We also know nothing about the Mac thing, but
Oh yeah, well, when he's in, they mention about like just like Berlin or whatever. Or what does he say? Just like
yeah.
whatever,
yeah.
whatever. What like we basically know nothing about Indy in World War II and Mac.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and like a war movie Indiana Jones.
But to answer
Oh.
all those other questions that we've had, I don't want a TV show about Indiana Jones in World War II.
Okay.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be good. I'm saying I don't need it.
Okay.
Not a yeah.
I was going to
I don't
get you
need
that for Christmas, but never mind now. Fine.
No. I don't want to be ingracious. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I have too much ice in my mouth. You know when you think, okay, I can handle all the ice that's in my glass? And then you get it in your mouth and it's way too much and it's painfully cold? That's what I just did. I apologize.
No, that.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. I probably haven't, but I have really bad misophonia.
Oh, you have
So-
mentioned that, Pete. I'm sorry.
I was wondering.
I'm being very
that was
sarcastic
gonna come up.
right now.
I was wondering when that was going to come
I'm a
up.
bad co-host and a bad friend. I'm sorry.
Then there's something. Isn't there something about drinking on mic? Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, I know. It's our last episode.
Yeah.
I'm drunk on Mountain Dew. What am I going to do? I'm sorry, everybody.
Okay.
We got one more of these. One
Okay.
more, and I think this is an excellent question. Darth Patreonis, for our final minute, asks if all the Indiana Jones movies had a post-credit stinger, what would they be?
Wow.
That's really good.
Okay, at the very end of Raiders,
Yeah.
you would see a room of the bureaucratic fools. I don't know what it
Yeah.
would be. I'm not
Yeah.
directing it. But you'd see a room of the bureaucratic
You'd
fools.
see like Eaton and Musgrove like enter the room, and he's getting drinks with the Ravenwood woman, and
or maybe
the
would there be
boxes
like
in the
what?
thing.
Maybe Abner would be in there.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
he's with my little girl.
See,
Stop
I
him.
did Raiders with you'd cut back to the Chachapoyan temple and he'd have a kid walk in and he sees the temple destroyed and the idol missing, and he cries for a second and then he vows to get revenge.
Yeah. And then the fans are furious that that never played out in the next 3 movies.
Yeah.
They never went back to that. And yeah, like Temple of Doom, I don't know, it'd be like you'd see an alligator floating down the river and like a fist pops out of him and it's Mola he survived. Bowser's Revenge and Indiana Jones. Yeah. And I guess Last Crusade, they just keep riding into the sun, and then they stop
Elsa
and get a
could be
soda pop.
like crawling back out of the chasm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like with the grail in her hand.
Yes,
like
Yeah.
that's right.
she's
No,
kind of tipsy.
She's the
It
new
would be
knight.
something. There was something with the night.
Yeah, he and Elsa just hang out for the rest
Yeah,
of
she
the
comes
season.
crawling
Yeah.
out of the chasm, and he's got like a lipstick mark on his cheek or something.
Oh my gosh.
They go back into the cave arm in
This were
arm.
cheesy.
She carries him across the threshold. Across the leap of faith bridge.
You have to believe that you can make it to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I am 1,000 years old, but we'll see. And then Crystal Skull, I don't know. The aliens get to their universe and they got a bunch of worthless junk from another dimension that nobody cares about. Where
they
have you been
show-
for the last 500 years?
Crystal Skull would be the Earth heals and the water comes through, and then they would show everybody walking through the jungle happily, and then you'd hear Indy go, "Water, water, water,
Oh
water!"
my god.
It'd be that thing.
That would work.
No.
Or at the very end, you see like Marion and Indy are sitting around the, like in the living room, like he's reading his paper and he's got his pipe and she's
Yeah.
listening to the radio, and there's a knock at the door, and Marion goes and answers it, and it's Colin Williams. And he happened to he was on the deserted island this whole time, but he's
Oh my
still
God.
alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bigamist. Bigamist.
And then while Indy's distracted with that, Mutt sneaks in and actually does steal his hat and takes off. Screw you, old man.
Really?
I have
really
something
perverse.
awkward to announce.
Uh-oh.
I know we've already done this a couple of times this season, and I know we're almost done, but we do actually have to take another hiatus.
Thank God.
I know. We just need life gets weird. We need
Yeah.
a little break every now and then. We can't always control what's going on in the real world, so just bear with us while we take it. It's not going to be a crazy break. It's not going to be months or anything, but we'll be back.
It's going to be a fermata.
They're taking a little fermata.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
how
not a
long
big
how
deal.
long can a fermata be?
Come on. Yeah. So just bear with us, and we'll be back when we can. And in the meantime, thanks a lot.
This has been a really, really challenging 20 minutes or so.
It has. I mean,
We've still got-
it took a lot out of us.
We've still got like a minute and 7 seconds. that
I mean, no,
we
the
gotta
show's not
pick
over.
up at
We're
the
going to
end.
come back.
No,
we're
I
going
know.
to finish the
Yeah.
show. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, we're true to our word. We're going to see this thing to the end, but we do just need to take some time for ourselves. You know?
No, yeah.
Bear with us.
We'll
So,
be back
all
as
right.
Tom will say, sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. And I'll say, people can think pretty soon, Tom.
I know.
Like that means like
Yeah.
30 seconds.
I mean, I have a time in my head, but again, I don't want to say it because what if it's a lot longer than that? It's just going to be a big drag. So
It's never
Just,
a lot
uh,
longer than that.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you for your patience, everybody, and we'll be back as soon as we can. Yeah, that wasn't so bad, was it? I mean, it might have been like, I honest to God, I thought we might have been like a couple of weeks, but it was just a handful of minutes. It's all right.
Pete, when you started this whole thing that you did with this show and this idea, what were you? Is this what you envisioned? Have we accomplished? What you wanted to, set out.
I am a broken, crushed, shell of a man.
He said, "I want to be
Which
like
is
just,
obviously-
I want to be beaten down in 5 years.
Yeah.
What do I do? Like, what would be
Yeah.
a good way to arrange to just be sapped of all my energy and hope and excitement
have-
about this thing that I loved?"
I have at least 5,000 unwritten postcards hanging over
Oh
my
my
head
God.
that I get reminded of on a daily basis.
It's been like a sort of a slow bloodletting.
Yeah.
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 Sarlacc pit.
It was just wonderful,
like that.
wonderful experience all the way through. What's that, Christy?
Sarlacc pit. Digest.
Yeah. You know, I often wondered, like, is that a biological thing? Or digested for 1,000 years?
This doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
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 It's not how biology works. Just saying.
Your metabolism, yeah. Haven't they found out that your metabolism is not slow as you get older?
Well, and also, like, so if your digestion system is like 1,000 years, it's like, why would he burp that quickly?
Well, because he's just got a little bubble.
That seems like a really quick.
Well, that was
yeah.
from the guy he ate 5,000 years before.
Oh yeah, it had nothing to do with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys haven't watched that show, have you?
No.
Of course,
No,
I have.
of
Of
course
course,
I
I've
haven't.
watched every
I
minute
forget.
of it. Of every
Oh, you
spin-off.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Like I've got choices.
Did you
people.
enjoy them,
I don't have.
Christy?
you're a true blue Star Wars fan. Do you
I
enjoy
am.
those shows?
So I really like The Mandalorian.
Okay. Me too.
Huh.
Is this if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Wait, are you?
Oh.
Would you be excited about spin-offs, indie spin-offs?
Yes, we had that question about Sala and Kateka and
We did,
and
yeah.
Omar. And,
Yeah.
and of course, I would sit down and watch it for just as long as I could. And
Okay.
those three would.
Just as long as I
It
can.
would be like the Killing Fields.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And
Just
Now I know
like
how to
the
give
Killing
you.
If
Field.
Yeah, if you
anybody
ever want
has-
Christy not to leave.
has that choice, that chance, those three would. But would I also watch, with even more enthusiasm, a spin-off on 1930s or 40s Cairo that had none of the familiar characters, but they were running around doing
Nice,
something
yeah.
fun? Yes, I
Sure.
would. Hmm.
Called The Mummy.
No, I don't know. No.
Hey, I
you
got
not
something
like The
I'd like
Mummy?
to. Oh, did I? I like The Mummy.
I like the movie a lot. I was. Oh,
I liked it. No, I no.
I was
I
asking Christy though.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
You sounded like you didn't like it.
You were looking right at me when you asked. That's why
I
I
know.
was confused.
I know.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, Christy. Oh,
Mm.
Yeah.
hmm. She didn't say no. She just yeah.
Just change the subject really
She's
quickly.
flagging down the waiter.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's something I would like to do on this, our final episode of Crystal Skull. I would like to thank again all of our guests.
Yay!
We've had this I've got a list of the guests in front of me. When I look at the names and I remember when they were on the show, I think, oh my God, we've been doing this a really, really long. I think it's appropriate to reiterate when we started this damn thing.
I feel like we've invited them for 1,000 years.
We have
With like the Sarlacc.
yeah.
With the
Some things were not
Sarlacc
meant to be
digesting.
disturbed.
Yeah.
Tom.
Love and digest.
We've all been digesting since October 7th, 2019.
Wait,
That's
is that
when
a
this-
fever dream reference?
Oh, what?
Wasn't the sand covered Tannis for 1,000 years, and then the Sarlacc digesting
Oh, yeah.
for
yeah.
1,000
yeah.
years?
No, it was 1 year.
No, it was
Sandstorm
1 year.
was 1
Yeah,
year.
it was 1 year.
Yeah. You wouldn't even be past the Sarlacc's molars.
So that doesn't sound like a long time ago. That was like just a blink ago, Tom. October.
2019?
Yeah.
To you!
That was a long time ago. I was still in college.
Just had your driver's
Jerry
license.
Still had all his limbs.
Remember, you and I were still in the country club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jared
Corona
headgear.
just been a beer.
That's right.
Yeah. So we've been doing this a long time. And so when I see these names that I have been in front of me, oh my gosh, I remember when that guy was on the show. Oh my God. So it feels weird.
Are we going to have to do
We're-
any in memoriams for any of these?
Oh my God, no. I
It's
don't
been a
think
long
so.
time.
It has
Okay,
been.
good.
No. Although it is sad, we took the main casualty of us taking so long to do this is that we missed out on having our buddy J.W. Rinsler on again.
Yeah.
Because he did pass away, and that's awful.
And he had some he very specifically wanted to talk about the end of this movie because he had a lot of things to say about it. Because this was the only movie I think he actually worked on the movie with Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
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 That would have been nice.
But yeah, definitely
We're
miss.
glad we got to
Jonathan
have him
Hughes.
on when we did, though.
Yeah,
Very,
really
very glad we got to
very
have him
kind,
on. Yeah.
kind man.
Awesome guy. One
Yeah.
of my favorite guests.
A lot of fun to talk to. Yeah.
But these were our guests for Crystal Skull. You know who our very first guest was on Crystal Skull?
I'm gonna
Professor
say
Christy Porter.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that's me.
rock and roll.
Christy. See,
I remember when that was.
It
October
bothers me.
7th, 2019.
that people keep
Aw.
referring to Christy Porter as a guest.
Well, okay.
In the band.
Christy Porter, in my mind, is a host.
She's a
Aw,
recurring regular.
that's nice.
She's
Yeah.
a
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
She's adjunct
then-
host.
Well, in that case, she was not our first guest. Our first guest then was Pete the Retailer of Star
There we
Wars,
That's
go.
right.
Yeah.
There we go.
followed
Yeah.
by Father David and Josh
Wow.
Bell. And it seems so long ago. Josh Bell, Jennifer Lavasser, Scott Roseanne, John Engel, Paul Sullivan, Chris Eliopoulos, Heather Antos, Lise Valentine, Ken Plume, Mark Heidemann, Steve Crouch, Jamie Anderson, Rob Lumley, Alan J. Sanders, Christopher Ramirez, Dr. Edwin Barnhart, Toby Capwell, Dr. David S. Anderson, Jonathan and Tabitha Carlisle, Jonathan Howell, Curtis Blaze. I know, this is amazing.
Really good guest.
I know, Curtis Blaze, Mitch Bryan, Rob Brode, John Brode, Ryan Anderson, Thor Ritz, Tierney Steele, John Brugan, Deborah Helt, Joe Spaley, I know that guy,
Wow.
Eric Habengay, Eric Drysdale, Josh Horowitz, Gordy Adams, Alex Robinson, Patrick Cotnoir, Jim O'Kane, Mark Campbell, Jason Allman, John Solomon, Johnny Powers, Doug Greenberg, Brett Stillo, Tim Stock, Dengar Dave, just Dengar Dave, Hal Lublin, Joe Dater, Will Burke, you know Will Burke,
I
right?
do.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Brian Riley, Joey Berner, Joe Harris, Natalie Polakowski, Sasha Brainerd, Blair Wilson, Neil Christopher Marcus Brown, the Bat Minute guys, Andrew Hawthorne, Matt Drum, Jamie Benning, Doris Weiss, Stephen Badham, Kevin Marr, and Damian Fahey. And now us just dudes and lady.
Ooh,
That was like a
good
that
guess.
was a huge, long, epic,
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
thing with all
Well,
these people.
And thank you to all of them for
Yeah.
coming on the show and taking the time and sharing all their thoughts and questions and opinions and comments.
I mean that list makes up like it's a nice spectrum of like professionals and experts on things, and also just goofballs who we know and wanted to talk to on the show and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a nice range.
Not
of
a stinker in the bunch.
right.
There's, that's one of the best parts of doing this show is meeting people and talking to them that maybe you would not have the opportunity to meet them. Just,
Yeah.
That's
You know,
definitely true.
it's and from all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really that's
It
been a
is.
big plus of this whole thing.
That's
Yeah.
that's
That's a
like
lot
one of
of
the
people.
best
people.
parts of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Tommy, I have a question for you. At the end of Temple of Doom, you said, you wanted to find some elasticity and return,
Oh, wow.
come out of watching it 1 minute at a time and just go back to, what the feel-good feeling of the summer of 1984 and
Yeah.
just kind of enjoy it. Now, here we are at the end of Crystal Skull. What is your feeling now?
He wants to go back to the feel-good summer of 1988-89.
Yeah, when they were filming this movie, and I could go up and see it.
That's right.
I mean, are you asking if how I feel about Crystal Skull now that it's all
Not
done
just
1 minute at a time?
Do you
or-
have? Yeah. No,
I would be curious
know.
to see it. I'm not looking forward to seeing it again. Like I'm not. I don't have the urge to see it. I don't have the end of Temple of Doom. I was like, oh wait a minute. I remember really liking this movie, and it's been kind of beaten out of me by the end of this process of doing it minute by minute. But I look forward to recapturing that that like that I had of it had for the movie before, and now with this one, it'll be a while. But I do look forward to, one of these days I'll see it again, and I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, those are the parts of that movie that I liked, and it goes by a lot easier when you're not doing it 1 minute at a time, and it'll be nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
How about you? Have you watched any of these movies, by the way? I'll ask you, Jerry. Have you watched any of these movies since we've done them minute by minute?
No.
Really?
No, I haven't. I would. I would like to go back and watch Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it.
I think I find the joy not, less so in the movie and more so in the experience that we've had just on the show, getting together and talking. The movie is basically a vehicle for, hanging out. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy to say at the end of this one, the fourth one, which, by the way, all of this was, grass that we needed to mow when you and Pete came and asked me, like, hey, do you want to do like a kind of like a, an Indiana Jones minute thing where we watch the movies 1 minute at a time? I'm like, well, all of it? Like, what do you mean? And it's just, I was just like, well, when are we, like, well, and I was kind of confused, and I was like, I don't know, a podcast? And I remember thinking, like, we don't talk to each other as much. We all live in different cities. Everybody's life takes over, and we just, I thought to myself, all right, well, Pete and Tommy are telling me that they're going to call me on Tuesday. So to talk about Raiders of the Lost Ark, minute one, I'm going, I know that they're going to do that, and we'll talk, and at least I can guarantee that I will talk to them on Tuesday instead of like, oh, hey man, just call me whenever you get a minute, or oh, I got your message, just having a busy weekend, call you this week. Right. And nobody doing anything. So that has been, I mean, this is a momentous moment for me personally. I did not think I didn't think we were going to fail or not accomplish it. I didn't know how far this road would lead. And when I started it at the time with you guys, Pete's idea and Tommy, both of you guys said, hey, we should do that. Let's call Jerry. I was like, oh, sure. Well, let's start it. And I didn't really have...
There's no harm in trying.
Yeah, I didn't have an ending in mind. I was like, we're going to start it. Who knows if we do all the movies? Who knows if we finish Raiders? Mm-hmm. So to have...
I had the hardest time explaining it.
Oh, yeah?
What's that?
Sorry, Jerry, you were kind of nattering on, frankly. I'll just interrupt.
Yeah, it was going on a long time. I look forward to never talking to you again. No, it's
lovely, but
big sister's picking on you.
It's fine.
If I'm thinking about the arc of it, so I was trying not the arc of it. Funny. So if I'm thinking about how it started and how it's going, I was trying to explain it to because you had said, well, Zrisser, you work at a university, do you know any archaeologists? And I'm like, do I sure do. And I called up my archaeologist colleague, and I tried to explain what 1 minute at a time was, and I must have done a really terrible job because he said, oh, thank you very much, but I think I'll be very busy. And I'm like, come on, it's only like 1 minute at a time. And after he politely turned me down, which he did very, very charmingly. He's a very, very nice person, very smart, good archaeologist. I'm sure he's like, as a matter of fact, Indiana Jones is why I got into archaeology. So that would have been perfect, but nope, he's missed his opportunity.
Loser.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to explain at the time, and now I have and look, now we have convention and such, and we meet.
Yeah.
Different places.
That's right.
It's a thing.
Well, Jerry, as you were nattering on, I was thinking that while it was the monkey's paw of what you were talking about. That now you're guaranteed to talk to Pete and Tom for an hour a week or something like that. The monkey's paw of that is that you're only talking about stupid Indiana Jones movies. And you and I took a trip like a week ago as we're recording this, and that was fantastic because I was in a car with you and we had a nice old timey friendship time. And as this show is ending, or the season is ending, and we won't be doing this regular show for a long time, my thought is, maybe I'll pick up the phone and call Jerry or Pete, and we'll talk about stuff, and it'll be fun. And we'll talk about boobs and things, and adolescent boy stuff, and it'll be fun. And we don't have to talk about stupid movies that we're forced to talk about. For
people
3 or 4
preferred
years.
my nattering.
Not a competition, honey.
That's right. But no, it has. But that isn't. When Pete recommended or suggested the show to me, and he's like, "Hey, me and Jerry, we should do like a Star Wars Minute kind of thing with Indiana Jones." I'm like, that'd be really cool. And part of it was like, you know what? The 3 of us have like a fun thing. I like the 3 of us. It'd be kind of cool to share that in some way with. I think we'll make a good show. I think the 3 of us talking to each other and with guests and things, I think that would be a good thing. And I think I'd like to see what that would sound like. And apparently it worked out. Apparently I wasn't the only person who liked it, so that's fun.
Your mom liked it.
My mom likes it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your mom.
And here we are. There's an Indy 5.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting.
There is Indy 5 on the horizon.
There's Indy
Yeah.
5, and I knew nothing about that when this whole thing started. So
Yeah. No, none of us did. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
We thought we were going to be done. In fact, we timed this. Part of like we took the big fat hiatus. Part of it was like, okay, we'll time it so that we'll finish Crystal Skull just as Indy 5 is opening. And of course, that didn't happen at all. It's happening in a year. So we're here to say once and for all that we will never cover Indy 5 minute by minute. To heck with you all. No, that's not true at all.
God, I hope so.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to quit jerking Pete around. The poor man. But we have like nebulous plans for the future, right? We don't. The show's not going away.
No,
like Crystal Skull's done. Here's a few things. Here's some business. Crystal Skull's done. You're not going to hear another peep from us about Crystal Skull until we die. It'll be in our eulogies, apparently. I don't know.
That would suck. If they're just about us doing Crystal Skull.
But I imagine that we're going to have we've talked about like some bonus. The feed is not going to be dead. Stay subscribed to the feed because things will be popping up, different Indiana Jones related things here and there. Not a regular thing, but just bonus shows here and there as they come up. Anything Goes, our bonus show on patreon.com/Indiana Jones. That's going to keep going. We got regular bonus shows there for anybody who wants to support the show over there.
There's a brand new show going to be coming out.
That's right.
So
what are you talking about, Pete?
Definitely stay subscribed because I bet that'll show up in this same feed.
Yes, we are talking behind the scenes about a brand new show that ain't got nothing to do with no Indiana Jones or movies or anything, but just a new endeavor that we're working on. And more will be announced about that here and in other spaces when the time is right. But yeah, keep your ears peeled.
And if you want any incentive to keep listening, like it was Tom and my idea that we do this, and this new endeavor is Jerry's idea.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be different.
You can figure where this might be going.
I'm sure I have some very useful guests who will turn you down. So
awesome, thank you. Yeah, just explain it as badly as you can, and we'll guarantee their non-participation. Thank you.
Wait a minute.
What,
What's
Jerry?
going
They're
on?
kicking us out. The club is closing. We gotta go. What?
Boop, 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 boop. You like it.
I do. I honestly forgot about that Billy
This just in from the regularly sized oldest Billy Gruff.
Disclaimer: there is no regular size. All
Yeah.
sizes are great and wonderful.
You still called it a funny hair.
Everyone's a monster in their own way.
Billy Goat Gruff, Mimi Porter Esquire. We named the dog Christy.
Aw,
Aww.
I don't know what that means, but it seems
don't
charming.
either.
I don't know. Let's thank everybody. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been
Yeah.
all. We've worried that this season dragged on too long, and that we made it as long as we possibly could against our better judgment. But people seem to still be enjoying it, so that's great.
I remember
That's
when we
gratifying.
released like the first couple episodes of Raiders, and we had like 60 people that
Mhm.
had heard it. We were like, "Oh my god! Can you believe
Oh my
60
God,
people
that's
listen
amazing.
60 is a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
to this?" It is.
Yeah.
It
And now
is.
we're down to I think 45. So
That's not much
we
of a
squandered
loss.
that goodwill. Yeah. Still 45 people I don't know personally. It's not my mom. So that's cool.
People are lovely.
But,
The minute by minute group is very, very fun. Fun people.
It is.
Fun
We should say that
people.
too. If you like this show and you're not aware of some of the other Movies by Minutes shows out there, you should go to moviesbyminutes.com. where
and
you will
Tom
find-
Taylor does about 35% of them.
I do, yeah, about 20 of them.
Yeah.
No, I do. Oh yeah, I do 3. No, I do 2. I've done 2 so far. Caddyshack Minute and Blues Brothers Minute. Those are 2 other shows that I'm on.
Fine establishments.
Thank you, Christy. Christy and Pete and Jerry have guested on many of those other shows. Probably every single one of them almost. And so have I. And so you should check them out. Your favorite movie is probably there being covered by somebody, and maybe we show up on it at some point. Who knows? It's so hard to say goodbye.
We're not saying goodbye.
No, we're
saying
not
saying
farewell. We're saying
We're saying good
don't
night.
let the door hit you where the
Yeah. We're saying it's been a nightmare. We can't get out of here fast enough. The heck with you all.
No, we're not going anywhere, and hopefully you're not going
Wait,
anywhere.
hold up,
Yeah.
Tommy.
What?
I
Yes, sir.
want to just tell everybody, look, Tom Taylor sitting right there, that guy does
Hey.
so much of
Oh
the
my
work
God.
on this show.
Yay.
The show would not
No,
happen.
he does
Yeah.
not do so much of the work. He does all of the work
Yes.
on the show.
And he needs to be
shucks.
acknowledged for
Yes.
he does the editing. He does the editing. He does the editing. He does the editing.
Brilliant,
He puts
brilliant
editing.
editing.
He comes up with
Yeah.
all the titles. I'll tell you, I think it's funny the you put up on Instagram with the cards. It makes me laugh. So he comes
Aw.
up with all the titles of them all the
He schedules the
pictures.
guests.
He schedules it all. He schedules
That's
the
something I look
guests.
forward to, is talking
Yeah.
to you guys without having to schedule stuff.
That'll
Like,
be
Yeah.
look, I'm talking to you
So-
guys on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I want to hear no arguments about
So
it.
Yeah.
the show would not move forward at all.
Well, there would not be a show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there would not be
the
a show
is
without
Tom
Tom.
Taylor.
So it's all my
Yeah.
fault, is what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm the one to blame. Thank you.
Yeah.
You were the one to blame and to think.
Dear listener,
yeah.
you can't tell this,
Thank
but
you,
Tom is blushing.
Oh,
He sounds all
God.
blushy.
I feel like a princess.
But just one more thing.
Oh,
If you've been paying attention, there is a This Just In I Never Did. And I'm leaving it open. That's right. Anybody can, you can feel free to have your own This Just In. There's one I never did.
aw.
Yeah.
It's,
Wait, what?
It's
There's a This Just In on a minute.
I don't know what he's
that we
talking
never
about,
did.
but okay. Oh,
Yeah, there was a minute
Oh.
that I did not ever do a This Just In.
oh. So you're saying that could
Was
be
that-
the
that was
people's
like the-
All right.
I'm
well,
saying
let's-
we're never done.
Oh God.
No, I'm
That's
saying
the purposeful flaw in the
That's the-
rug that
yes,
you wove so that
and-
people
Yeah.
know
Then
it was
we need a
handmade.
boop-a-doop. Boop-a-doop, boop-a-doop.
Yep, and I
Yeah.
encourage anybody to come up with their own boop 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 boop. This just in. It's
And then
just
just what? Say it
not
to
just
themselves.
it's just to themselves when
In
they're
an empty room.
when they're washing their hair.
And
Yeah.
imagine the three of us responding
Yeah.
to it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so lonely. Jerry, why would you do that to them? God, you're mean. What a way to end the show.
Are you going to tell us which episode does not have a This Just In?
It's in there.
We're gonna have to
so
go
that's
back and listen to
that's
the whole season, Pete.
a sinister way to get people to listen to the whole show again.
Yeah. What a jerk. Oh my god. Everyone, I'm so sorry. All right, I think they are going to kick us out of this club. But thank everybody
They're flashing
for...
the lights right now.
I know. Okay, we're going. We'll help you pick up the chairs. It's cool. All right, but everybody, we will see you... I don't know when Indy 5 will happen. We'll see you in line
see
for
way
Indy 5
before
in a
then.
year. We'll see you way before then with any other stuff we do. We'll see you over on Anything Goes at patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute. And we'll see you on the Facebook page. We'll see you in the Indiana Jones Minute and the Listener's Crusade. We'll see you on Twitter and Instagram and all those other places. We're around. You're not getting rid of us. We're in your minds and your hearts and your every thought, and there's no escape.
See, I feel like this ends with like we'll meet again and like flashes everywhere, like that.
Yeah.
He didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it just ends with a big nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jones!
Jones!
Bones.
Jones.